Hi everyone, and in this video I'm going to discuss drugs acting on the eye, particularly the concept about mydriatics and myotics. Now let me write the normal size of the pupil. Let us consider this the normal size of the pupil. The normal size of the pupil. Now if the pupil diameter increases, so we call these drugs as mydriatics. So if the pupil diameter increases, we call them as mydriatics. If the pupil diameter decreases, so we call these drugs as myotics. So the drugs which decrease the pupil size, that is pupil diameter, is called myotics. Which increases it is called mydriatics. Now what is the important concept I need to understand here? To understand that, let me draw the eye, that is pupil. So let me draw that. Okay, so let me draw the pupil, and in the pupil we have two important types of muscle which looks the radius of a tire. So it is like this. Yes. So the muscle which looks like a radial of a tire, and they are called as dilator pupillae. They are called as dilator pupillae or the radial muscles, and they have a receptor called alpha 1. Now another muscle which is present in the pupil, which is like this, like a circle, they are the circular muscles, and we call them as the sphincter pupillae. They are called as sphincter pupillae, and sphincter pupillae has a receptor called M3. So receptor is M3. Now they are in balance. Suppose this is the pupil size. The constrictor pupil is trying to constrict, and the dilator pupillae is trying to dilate. So they are in balance, so the pupil size is normal. Now if I want to dilate the pupil, what should I do? I should make the dilator pupillae stronger. If I want to constrict the pupil, I have to make the constrictor pupil stronger. How do I do that? By stimulating the receptor. If I stimulate alpha 1, we use drugs called alpha 1 agonist. If I stimulate them, the dilator pupillae will become stronger and the dilation of pupil occurs, and these are called active mydriatics. These are called active mydriatics, and the example of the drug which is alpha 1 agonist is called phenylephrine. It is called phenylephrine, and phenylephrine is called as active mydriatic. Or what we can do is, if you want to cause miosis, you can use M3 agonist. And the drug which is an M3 agonist, it is called as pilocarpine. So pilocarpine is a myotic and it produces active miosis. Until now you would have understood, if you stimulate a receptor, if you give agonist, that is called active. Now if you want to produce by blocking a receptor, for example, this is the sphincter pupillae, this is the dilator pupillae. Now if I want to produce mydriasis, what should I do? I should stop the action of sphincter pupillae. So you block the sphincter pupillae, then passively the dilator pupillae take over and there is dilation of pupil. Usually there is a balance. This sphincter pupillae is trying to constrict, dilator is trying to dilate, but they are balanced. But when you block the M3 receptor, this cannot constrict, the dilator will take over passively. So that's why if I use M3 antagonist, they produce mydriasis. And that is called passive mydriasis. So they produce passive mydriasis. Now M3 is also present in one more muscle, and that is called ciliary muscle. In the eye there is a muscle called ciliary muscle, and that is responsible for accommodation. Now pilocarpine not only produces active myosis, it causes spasm of accommodation. It produces spasm of accommodation because it increases the tone of ciliary muscle, that is ciliary muscle spasm. It causes ciliary muscle spasm, that is pilocarpine. So pilocarpine is actimyotic and it constricts the ciliary muscle. So ciliary muscle spasm. Now the drugs which are M3 antagonists, they are passive mydriatic, and when you block M3 in the ciliary muscle, there is something called paralysis of accommodation. So these drugs can produce paralysis of accommodation. And that is also called by a name that is called cycloplegia. Cycloplegia. So the meaning of cycloplegia is patient cannot see the near object clearly. They are blurred. Far object is clear, but the near object is blurred. That is called cycloplegia. Now let me enlist the drug which are M3 antagonists, which are causing passive mydriasis. The name is called atropine. Atropine duration of action is for 7 to 10 days. So they can cause mydriasis for 7 to 10 days. One more drug is home atropine. Home atropine can produce the action up to 1 to 3 days. Then we have a drug called cyclopentolate. The name is cyclopentolate and that works for 24 hours, or you can remember it as 1 day. Tropicamide is another drug which has a duration of action of 4 to 6 hours. So they can ask in the exam, where do you use atropine? What is the longest acting mydriatic? That is passive mydriatic is atropine. So in the exam, they can ask you the question, which is the longest acting passive mydriatic? It is atropine. What is the shortest acting mydriatic? You can write it as tropicamide. It's a passive mydriatic, shortest acting. So where do you use this passive mydriatics uses? So passive mydriatics are used in two conditions. One is they are used in two conditions. One is in fundoscopy, and one more is in refractive error testing. Refractive error testing. So most commonly used drug is tropicamide. The reason is it's very short acting. Do we use atropine? Yes, we use atropine as eye ointment in two situations. It is used in children less than 5 years. Now, why do we use atropine less than 5 years for mydriasis? Because the ciliary tone is very high in less than 5 years and we want a strongest drug, that is atropine. Atropine as eye drop is also used in fungal corneal ulcer. It is also used in fungal corneal ulcer. What is the reason? The reason is simple. Fungal corneal ulcer, there is ciliary spasm, and you know that these are going to relax that ciliary spasm and they have cycloplegic action. When they relax that ciliary spasm, they can decrease the pain. So that's why atropine as eye drop or an ointment is preferred in children less than 5 years, because in them ciliary tone is very high. It is also preferred in fungal corneal ulcer. The reason is the ciliary spasm is causing pain and it can decrease the pain. Apart from that, we don't use atropine because the duration of action is very longer. You may ask a question, what about children, sir? Will it not work longer? Yes, it will work longer, but parents can take care of them. Fungal corneal ulcer, already patient has difficulty in the vision, and even if it acts longer, no problem. Now, what about phenylephrine? Why do you use phenylephrine? Phenylephrine is used for fundoscopy. So, fundoscopy, we use phenylephrine. Now, what is the use of the pilocarpine? Pilocarpine as eye drop, it is used as a drug for glaucoma. The eye drop is used for glaucoma. It is also used for one more condition, to break adhesions. Adhesions between iris and cornea, or iris and lens. You may ask a question, how does it break the adhesions? So what we do is we give meiotic mydriatic alternatively. So the pupil will undergo meiosis, mydriasis, meiosis, mydriasis. By doing that, we can remove the adhesions. So to remove the adhesions, we use both meiotics as well as mydriatics. So you understood what is active, what is passive, but is there any passive meiotic? Yes. If you block alpha, the alpha blockers produces passive meiosis. For example, the alpha blockers like prazosin, tamsulosin, they can produce passive meiosis. Simply remember, agonist produces active mydriasis, antagonist produces passive mydriasis. That's it. And I have told you where they are used. Okay. Now, once we know this, remember mydriatics, any drugs which are mydriatics, they are contraindicated in angle closure glaucoma. So mydriatics are contraindicated, particularly the drugs having anticholinergic property. They are going to cause mydriasis and they will close the angle between the iris and cornea, and they can precipitate the acute congestive glaucoma. So very, very important point, mydriatics, particularly with anticholinergic property. For example, tricyclic antidepressants, they have anticholinergic property. They can also precipitate the atropine group of drugs. Very, very important point. So in this video, I have to tell you what is the difference between mydriatic and meiotic, and what are the drugs called active, passive, and all those things. Now, you may ask a question, what about alpha, sir? Will they work on ciliary? Alpha 1 have no role on ciliary muscles. So that's why the ciliary spasm or relaxation is done by M3 agonist or M3 antagonist. Alpha doesn't have any role. So that's why we don't see cycloplegia or spasm of accommodation with alpha. Yes. So in this video, it's a brief video to understand mydriatic and meiotic, because it can be asked in your exams, because many a times second year subject question can come in your INA CT or NEET PG. Thank you all.